Okay. Okay. So hi there. Let's understand this promise, then dot catch, call back, and then async await. Understand this topic. Okay. Let me share my screen and okay. So quickly open the REPL and then renew. Okay. Okay. So today's date is 5th of February. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. So. CD of 5th of February, then 2022. Okay. CD, and then copy this. Okay. So now we are here. Let me create a new file over readme.md file. To understand this promise, first we need to understand what is JavaScript and how JavaScript work. So basically JavaScript, you have heard of single thread language, single thread language, and what to say, synchronous by default, synchronous by default. Now what does the synchronous means? Synchronous means it will try to execute the code, the piece of code at that instance, then only it will go to the next line. Let's say you're writing over here console.log 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 1 plus 1, and then console.log dot log yes. Okay, so how JavaScript works, it will try to execute this line of code. Once it get done, then it will go to the next line. So it is synchronous by default. Okay, now what happened whenever, now this is very good if you are going with a synchronous code. But let's say if you're making a different db request, or you wanted to save file to in a database, but to come to real application. Let's say you are making a network request to a third party API. Okay, API, you are converting a video, let's say you are converting a video file to audio, video to audio, or you are reading a data from file, then in that case it might take 3 seconds or 4 seconds, depend on what data you are accessing, which network request you are making a request, which video file you are converting, and how much data you're reading. It might take time, right? So what happened, it will block the code. First we'll try to let's say you are making a function, like let's say convert video, convert video to audio. Now you have called this function in line 17, and then you will say console.log. Okay, now what happened, it will try to first execute this code, try to get the result, then it will move to the line number 18. So you are kind of blocking the code. Okay, so to handle this, what this is called asynchronous. You are kind of making a third party request, or you're making a all this stuff. So to handle this, JavaScript say okay, we are having something called callback. Okay, so basically what happened, we were how this callback work is like, basically JavaScript work on event loop. So what it will do, it will offload this process to somewhere else. And what is event loop? Let's understand that now. Event loop is, event loop help us to this event loop help us to execute all the synchronous code first, synchronous code first, then only it will go for the asynchronous code. Asynchronous code. Now in this case, if you use here kind of await or promise over here, let's understand over here, it will say okay, okay, you just do all the stuff behind the scene, go somewhere else and do all the stuff. Let me quickly go and execute all the synchronous code. I will not wait for you. Okay, this process will get offloaded to a different process. Okay, different process. I will do all this my job, all the synchronous code I will try to execute. Once you are done with the result, let me know, I'll come back to you. This is how it works. It will try to execute all the synchronous code first, then it will come to the asynchronous part. This is how it works. Okay, so to handle this asynchronous code, previously we are having a callback. So what we do, we will say कि ठीक है, on this event, let's say on click event, let's say no vanilla JavaScript use this on click event, just do these things. Okay, so basically on this event we are firing a callback कि ठीक है यार, जब ये on click event होगा ना, जब on click event होगा, then we will do all the stuff. Okay, now then later on they comes with the dot catch kind of things. Dot then they are doing this thing, promise chaining. We'll say this promise chaining, and how it works is, let's say comes to this part, we'll say convert video dot then if it get converted, then this result will get fired, this callback will get fired. Okay, if not, if some error occurred, then we'll catch the error over here. Okay, we'll catch over here in this block. So what we are doing, we are using a promise over here. We are calling this function, then dot then ठीक है यार, just करो dot then. If these things get done, then this block of code will get executed with the result you wanted to get. Okay, if while converting this video to audio, if something error occurred, then it will come to this block and this will occur. Okay, this is how it works. But now this is what's kind of very let's say if the result come, then also you are making some DB requests, then it will kind of comes to the callback hell. You are making callback inside a callback, so it doesn't look very good. Then in AS 2015 ES6 feature, you can say they have launched the kind of a new syntax to handle the promise, new syntax, and that is called async and await. So basically what we'll do, you will just make this simple function as asynchronous, okay, and you will keep await, convert video to audio, convert this function. You will wait you will wait for this function. You will wait for this function. Once it get done, then you print the result, and you can take this result over here. So you will say const result is equal to await. Please wait. Once this get done, it will send the result to this variable, and you can print the result over here. So this syntax looks much more easier to read and easier to debug and all the stuff as compared to previous one. Okay, let's go to the let me quickly give you a demo. So npm install, we'll install the express server, and what we'll do npm install, what else we can do, okay, we will use xuse. Okay, now create a new file, we'll create a new file name as a server.js. okay, coming over here. So what we'll do, const app is equal to, will require the express which we have installed over here in a string, and then we'll create a new app from here. We'll create a new app from here. Const app is equal to call the express app, okay, and we want to use the JSON thing, so we will use as a middleware. We will gonna pass the JSON. It will help us to pass the JSON, and then we'll use one route over here, then an app.get method we will be using, and yeah, we'll fire a function over here, and we'll say something rest.status, and in this function we will do request and then response, and we'll say rest.status 200.json. message will be okay. Okay, now we'll start the server. Control Z, app.listen, basically listen on port 3000, and then once we'll get started, then we'll say server started. Console.log server started. Okay, now let's say you have to fetch an API, you have to fetch data from to-dos, right? So we'll use to-dos API. So we'll go over here and we'll say it, uh, just on placeholder TP code. Okay, let me open this. Now coming over here, see, so we have to make a request to this one and we'll get the result. Okay, now coming over here, let's create a function over here. Const get data is equal to, let's do this job. Okay, now paste this code over here. Okay, we'll use, since we're gonna use this XUS because we are making a request, third party request to one, we are making a request to a different service. Then we'll use XUS to make a network request. So require XUS. Okay, what we'll do, XUS, then what to say, dot get, and then this data, this URL, and once this is done, dot then, and then if something happen, then dot catch error, and we'll say this error would be a, we'll print it out or error over here, console.log error, and then dot then we will get the result, and we'll use console.log rest.data. Okay, okay, so as of now everything is good. Okay, now yeah, now I have to call this function over here. So what we'll do, we will say get data. Okay, we'll just give a reference, and sorry, control Z. Okay, let's give a reference over here. Okay, let me quickly start a server. Node server.js. So I started, go to local 3000 message. Okay, and it didn't call this function. Let me quickly come over here, console.log. Okay, I'm not calling, I'm being called. Let me quickly see the syntax of XUS. So npm XUS. Okay, npm XUS. No, all I use. Okay, XUS dot get. Okay, dot then dot catch. Okay, so you're gonna use. Okay, response. Okay, now what you will do, you'll just call this function over here. Okay, I mean call get data. Okay, now coming over again, start a server. Coming over here, refresh, and then I am being called, and see, you got the data. Okay, you got the data. Okay, so yeah, this is how you are doing. You are calling a function, and okay, so you're using here previous syntax, like older syntax, like dot then dot catch. Okay, you can do exactly same thing by using what to say, async and await. And how you will do, you'll say, let's comment this out, and let's come over here and do the same. So const, okay, get data, same function. Okay, and now if you wanted to use async and await, so sorry, if you wanted to use a new syntax, then you have to make this function asynchronous. Use just asynchronous. Okay, and now just call this. So const data is equal to await, and then axios, and then how you will do, you'll pass the method will be a method would be a get, and then url will be a this one, this one, this one. Okay, so why we are using await over here? So it will make this request to this api, this api. Okay, and once this, it will wait until it will get the result, right? So once you get the data, it will print it out over here, log data. Now you will say data, and this is data. Okay, now you will say Deepak, here we have used .catch. What if, while making this request to this api, if some error occurred? So whenever we use a synchronous function, we always use try catch block. We use try and catch block, catch block. Now you tried these things, what it is, very easy to understand. You tried these things. If something happened, you will come to the come to over here. If you will learn this python, in a python, you use try and exit block. So if something error happened, it will come to this block. What we'll do, we'll just use console.log error.message, error.message. Okay, dot message, format document. Okay, and just do the same again, just to and make a db request. Okay, you got data. Okay, now what happening is, okay, what here is, now you're getting message. Okay, but this one get called, little late, not late. See, let's say what I'm trying to say is, okay, you will send only, okay message once you get the data. Let's say you wanted to get data from over here. So let's say, return data. Okay, and you will use data over here. So const data is equal to get data, and in the place of message you will just paste call the data. Okay, let's see that you will get something. Now see, you got your empty array. Why you got empty array? Any idea? Anything? See, you have to, since, I'll let you know how it works. Let me use async and await over here. Then you'll understand how it works. Okay, got it over here. So basically what happened, you tried to call this function, but this function returns and promise. Okay, and you didn't use await over here. Okay, because it might take 1 millisecond, 2 millisecond, or any second, any time. JavaScript is synchronous by default. It will try to it call this function. Okay, and quickly, since it sees, okay, it's simple function, you don't know it is returning promise or not. Okay, so it is simple function for him. Okay, and then it will try to go to this line and try to get to the data. But as of now, you didn't get data from this function, right? So if we'll use here await here, if we'll use this await over here, then it will understand that, okay, this is not a simple synchronous function, it is an asynchronous function. So you have to wait over here. Once we'll get data, then all will send the response. Okay, so it might be helpful to you. And again, if you are using asynchronous, make sure you always use try catch block. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. Hope it might help you. Thank you. Bye.